Hey guys, what is up? Irving here, bringing you guys another episode of Sky Factory 4. This one's right after the other one because we need to do stuff urgently. We've changed like half the storage over to the new AE system, but the other half is still connected to the simple storages, which means chests are gonna fill up literally so fast. So we need to move and make some changes. The first change, which I already did, is I got rid of all our old pipe. As you can see, no longer connected to our system. But yeah, this is all these chests are full at this point. So we want to get on the move on there, and a lot of these chests are also basically full. I think we might be at full capacity. But again, I'm gonna replace these packages, so I'm gonna get rid of these. Alright, so I've decided to make a second system. I don't need to, but I'm going to make a second ME system. That way I can separate this section from that one. Basically, this ME system is going to take, is going to have all these materials, and it's also going to do the auto crafting. And once it's done with the auto crafting, it will actually put it into the other system. But that system won't be able to see like the acorns, the resin, all that stuff, which is exactly what I want and is the reason why I'm doing this. So because of that, we will need a few amount of ME storage buses to put behind these cabinets, because this is going to be the storage for our system. Now we need to get our system connected to power, which is not that hard because there's literally all of these here. I'm going to place it here, and we will need a ME drive. We will need storage inside of there. I just made a 1K, which I believe should be enough. And then we should be able to just put a glass cable in there, put a ME terminal. That way we can see inside of here. And then we just need to connect all of these up to our ME terminal. So I have now connected it below. And if I click here, you can see, yes, we can see all the different acorn saplings and resin. So now that we have the storage, we should be able to connect this back up. So I did make a bunch of ME import buses, which I'll connect to all these and then connect it to our system. All right, guys, moment of truth. I have connected them all up together. I just need to connect them to the system, which I will do right now. And let's see what happens here. So I believe we should see stuff start going up. Yep, as you can see, we had some there. So it looks like, yes, stuff is importing correctly. I made sure to also connect these two with some storage buses. That way we're getting our leaves here as well as our sticks. All right, guys, now to start working on the auto crafting portion. So I think for now, I am just going to make a pillar, I guess, right off of here. I want to make it 4 in height. As you can see, I have 4 ME controllers. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to go there. So I don't actually need this. I'm just going to connect it straight to that wire there. So we'll connect this here. And then we'll just put 4 of them for now. We will put the molecular assemblers next to them. Just like so. And then now we need to make patterns for all the crafting all the crafting patterns that we're going to need for all of these. All right, so I temporarily put the ME pattern terminal here. That way we can use our patterns here and use the materials that we have here to make the patterns. And I'm basically going to go through every single one of them and make patterns for everything. And then once I have that, I'm going to place each one in its own ME interface. All right, guys, so I have finished it. As you can see, we didn't use all 4 molecular assemblers. I guess I can separate these and just to balance things out a little bit better. But basically, we have all of these different patterns that we can do. So like all the different ambers and all that stuff. And if you look here, you can see that you can craft all these different types of ambers and like redstone blocks and blocks of quartz. But basically, everything that we get from here, we can craft. In fact, I actually forgot to do emeralds for some. So let me quickly do that one. So we will put this in there. And I believe that should be all of them. All right, guys, and to actually get crafting going, we're gonna need an export bus. So I'm quickly gonna craft one of those. In fact, we might need another. But something else we need is, first of all, capacity cards. These will be needed to expand like how many different things we can export on the export bus. And then we will also need, so we'll grab a few of these, grab 3. And we will also need a crafting card. Which you're missing basic card again. Wait, why are we missing a basic card? I don't know, but there we go. Crafting card and then 3 capacity cards. That might not be enough, but we're about to test. So what I'm gonna do is underneath our filing cabinet, I'm gonna put this export bus there, and I'm gonna connect it to our system. Not this system, but the other system. So I need to make sure to not connect with it. So something that's useful when it comes to not having them connect is the quartz fiber. So I'm gonna dig down here a little bit, and I'm gonna cross over here. So if I place this on there, as you can see, that kind of puts that there. And if I were to guide the other one with this cable here, and then I go underneath this, as you can see, this splits it, so they are actually not connected. Power will go through, but data it won't, so it won't be connected together. Then I just need to connect it up here. All right, so we should be connected, and as you can see, it says the device is online. So to test this, something I will do is I will take, for example, one of the ambers we have. So I went ahead and crafted one of each amber. We're gonna take, for example, the copper amber. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put this in the export node, or the export bus here. So we will place this here. And if we were to put a crafting card, then if that copper amber is not in the system, then it will go ahead and craft it. So if we go over here, we should start seeing that copper is indeed being crafted. So it gets crafted, as you can see, and then it gets put into the export bus. Then another one gets crafted and it gets put into the export bus. And it'll keep doing that. So the expansion card is so that we can put more items into this export bus. Because right now you can only do 1. But if we go ahead and put these capacity cards, 2 of them exactly, you will get 9 slots for 9 different ones. The emerald, the glowstone, the gravel. We need to take a different approach. So the way we're going to do this one is very similar to this, where we're taking an export bus to like a storage. But basically, we're going to take an export bus to an ME interface on this system. And we're basically going to do the same thing from there. All right, and I'm basically going to do this right here as well. So this is my main system here. So I will connect a ME interface to it, and we can import stuff into this, and it will go into our system. So we're going to take this export bus and connect it to this system here. And basically, we're doing the same thing here. So capacity cards so that we can see that whole thing there. And then from there, we will make a crafting card so that whatever we don't have gets crafted. And then we're just going to put in items that we want in our system. For example, diamonds. Sweet, guys. So I was able to get this to work. I needed a second export bus, but basically, yeah, I put all the different things that I want to export on there. And with the crafting cards, these will be crafted and they will be put into my system. So that should be basically that done here. The only thing is we need to make it a little bit faster because at the moment it's slow. But it's not that difficult. In all of these molecular assemblers, you can put acceleration cards like I just did, and that speeds it up. You can, again, add more molecular assemblers and add coprocessors to all of these. And also, we are still not keeping up with this. So on these, you can also put acceleration cards, which I will do for all of them. All right, now that that's out of the way, the next thing I want to automate is actually making the the Fluix crystals. Fluix crystals. So in order to make these, all you have to do is to mineral chunks with redstone and the metallurgic infuser. So what I'm doing right now is I have an enrichment chamber and a metallurgic infuser, just one above the other. I'm gonna set this so that it inputs from the back and outputs down below. And I'm going to take an export bus. And I'm going to take this export bus and I'm going to place it behind here. I brought this cable up, but I need to get it around here just like so. And inside of this export bus, we're going to export redstone. So redstone should automatically be exported into the enrichment chamber if I have everything set up correctly. Oh, right. So we actually don't have redstone in our system. That's because what we get is blocks of redstone. But I do have a craftable where I can craft redstone. So all I need to do is add a crafting card onto this. And make sure I set this to do not use stocked items. So it doesn't, if I have redstone in the system, it doesn't use that, because I'll probably use it for crafting or something like that. And as you can see, we are getting redstone in our enrichment chamber. And automatically it gets put down here. And we are getting, if we put mineral chunks, we're getting the flux crystal. So getting these and exporting these is the next thing. All right, so I have an ME interface, which I'm probably going to put underneath. And that is what is going to import items here. So we will set the bottom to input, and we will output actually through the back. Okay, that should be the right configuration. And so now that we have this ME interface, we can actually make a pattern for this. So the basic pattern, and in fact, we'll make it in terms of 64. So if we get, we don't have enough fluix crystals, but we have some here. So we have 64 fluix crystals. And if we click this, instead of crafting pattern, we have a processing pattern. So what we can do is we can put that there. And we can say with 64 mineral chunks, you will get 64 fluix crystals, which that is exactly what should happen. So these are set to nothing, which that should not be right. But I'm going to try this anyways. I'm going to put this here. Because it's not connected. Well, yeah, that would totally do it, right? So let's connect it real quick. And let's check over here again. So now we see metallurgic infuser, which is exactly what we want to see. And now we can craft, and let's say 10. It's going to be like, no, we can only do 64. That's the closest we can do. So start. So what it's going to do, it's going to fill this with the mineral chunks, and you can see those are filling up. And so the way we're going to get this back in is by actually, first of all, I need to move this over this side. Get rid of this one because I want to export from the backs. And I will grab from behind and I will input into there. So by placing that there. All right, so this should be going back into the ME interface, which should be completing our crafting status. Yep, and there it is. So it crafts and then it gets back into our system. We can see those going in there. And basically, whenever I want more fluix crystals, I can ask to get them made, and they will be made. All right, there's a few other recipes that have been kind of bothersome for me. Them being glass, which is usually a pain because a lot of these things use glass and I always run out, so I have to manually make more. And the other is the crushed quartz as well as the crushed fluix. Those are all a pain because I always just have to make them manually, so I want to automate them. So I'm basically going to do it similarly to this. I am going to take an ME interface, place one here, and place another here, just like that. We will need to connect this one like so. In fact, it's going to be in the way, so I need to go through back just like so. Now we can place our crushing factory here and our smelting factory there. From there, we can take some ME interfaces. Actually, scratch that. I already made ME interfaces right here. So all I need to do is do the patterns for everything. So again, the ones that have been causing me problems is the glass. So that one's such a simple one. In fact, let's do a stack at a time. So we'll grab sand. A stack of sand will give us a stack of glass. We don't have a stack here, so we need to make a little bit. All right, there we go. We have plenty of glass now. Also, for power, I just decided to do wireless power. So using the GPS markers. And now that we have our glass, we can tell it that this makes 64 glass. Get the pattern. We can go here. We can see the factories. It doesn't specify which one's which, so we'll come do this manually. This one's in the smelting, so we'll put this pattern here. And then our other two patterns, we can do individually. So it is single one of those should get us one fluix dot. So that's the first recipe. Then the next one is using quartz, nether quartz. All right, we have the crushed quartz. Now we can finish this pattern. There we go. And we will craft that. And we will put this in the other factory, which is our crushing factory. So now at any point where I want these, I should be able to craft them. And the last thing I will need to do is just export from the back and connect these so that it imports back into the ME interface. Sweet, that should be all. I just need to make sure that I am inputting from the back or from the bottom and outputting through the back. All right, guys, so I'm almost done switching everything over. There's one last thing I want to do, and that is adding this to the automated crafting. So I did move the ME interface from down below back to up here, and I strategically put it next to the filing cabinet. And I have set this up again so that it takes the output from these and it puts it into our ME interface, which gets it back into our system. But since that is connected to the filing cabinet, we can actually see it here in the interface, which allows us to do some pretty neat things using our auto crafting. So here we're going to use a processing pattern. And something we're going to do is we're going to, for example, let's say I want to automate making the logic processor, right? So what we can say is 1 gold, 1 redstone, and 1 silicon should be 1 logic processor. And it will give us 1 logic processor. So that is our pattern there. And in fact, we should also make the pattern for making silicon, which is pretty simple. This is a crafting recipe, so make sure you're in the crafting for that. I will put it in the molecular assembler, which I'm going to need to make more of. But there we go. Now we have the crafting for silicon. And now if I put this in the filing cabinet, what happens is if I say I want a logic processor, all right, and let's say I want to craft 2 of them, right? It does that, and I can check here. It says it's crafting 2 of them, which it should have put gold into our filing cabinet. Let's go check our status. And actually, there it is. We have our 2 logic processors. So it worked successfully. So I'm just going to do this for the pure, or the calculations processor as well as the engineering processor. And that's mostly 90% of my stuff successfully moved over to either being automated or just being moved over to see on here. If I go click on this, you can see that there's only 7 import cables on there. There's a few link cables. So it's just those imports and those link cables. The link cables are these chests right here. And the import cables actually are these right here, which I can switch that at my own time. But I've switched these. I've switched all the other things. That whole farm is working off of the Applied Energistics storage system now. So I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, this is working well. It has been keeping up. If I look at our system here, you can see that all of these are low because they are crafting real time. Our leaves are actually going down. But the reason for that is As you can see, these are empty, but the reason for that is not all of them have speed upgrades. So these actually only needed one speed upgrade. Once I put all the speed upgrades, I should be getting way more leaves, enough to hopefully keep up with their power again. But for now, these don't, so we are backed up and not getting leaves from any on this side, which is the reason why we're slowly losing leaves. But yeah, guys, that's all I have time for. I'm always happy automating stuff. It's probably one of my favorite things to do in Minecraft. Automate everything so that I don't have to do anything. Put in the work so that I don't have to do it later. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to leave a comment down below. And also, make sure to subscribe. Get us to 500 subscribers. That would be awesome. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next episode. See ya.